Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning and welcome to our 2021 8th grade recognition. My name is Lauren Willis and I'm the high school and middle school principal here at Waterloo. We appreciate you spending your morning with us and thank you for your continued support of these young individuals. It is my pleasure to be here today to recognize these students as they complete 8th grade and move on to high school. Over the weekend, I gave a speech to the graduating class of 2021 titled The Impact of Change. Thinking about this past year was the only thing that kept coming back to me as I was writing my speech: change. Education as we knew it was completely uprooted and changed due to COVID-19. But these students certainly didn't let it define them. They adapted to the change, overcame the challenges that it brought, and conquered everything in their path. And because of that, they're moving on to bigger and better things at the high school, and hopefully there is no more uprooting of our educational system. Today, this is not a goodbye for me. This is a welcome to the high school, as I am the principal here too, and I'm excited to continue our journey together and hopeful that I can support all of our students and their future endeavors. I would like to take this time to recognize our middle school staff and thank them for working so hard this year to meet the needs of our students. I know it wasn't always easy and oftentimes it felt like nothing was being accomplished, but I'm extremely proud about how our staff stepped up to the plate to deliver as best as they could. Staff, please stand when I say your name. Mrs. Fixler, Dr. Brayman, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Flanagan, Ms. Horney, Mrs. Tooth, Mrs. Klingensmith, Mrs. Montgomery, Mrs. Nicely, Mrs. Pennington, Mr. Riley, Mrs. Starber, and Ms. Warren. Will you please give them a round of applause? As always, thank you to our custodial staff for doing such a nice job. They had to recognition in your 8th grade recognition, graduation, senior awards assembly, so they've been doing a lot of work in here, so it's always thank you to them. Next up, we have 2 graduates of the class of 2021, so I'm going to invite them to the podium now, Taylor Werbeck and Bo Bentner. Hello, my name is Taylor Werbeck. I graduated from Waterloo High School this year and have been a student at Waterloo since kindergarten. 12 years at the same school with the people that you love comes with tons of memories and good times. You're about to start some of the best years of your life. All the way from things like snowball fights in the parking lot to TPing a teacher's house at 2 a.m. Take a look around you because these people will be some of your closest friends for the next 4 years. Time will fly by much faster than you expect, so my first piece of advice to you all is to make the most out of your high school years. Stay involved in sports, support your friends and classmates at sporting events, go to the class dances, attend school events, join student council, run for class officer, and most importantly, figure out ways to enjoy the rest of your time at Waterloo. COVID-19 has obviously been a huge part of my 4 years of high school, but hopefully it won't be for yours. Having part of my junior year and most of my senior year affected by COVID makes me hope that the same does not happen. Because all the time that was ripped away from our class and we lost so much of what could have been. But obviously you can't always control what's going on around us. So if your high school years are still affected by something like that, do your absolute best to still make memories with your friends in class. Towards the end of my junior year, I started to realize how much we might miss out on. At that point, my class did our absolute best to keep the rest of our senior year as normal as possible. Going into high school is a huge change and can be scary at times, but hopefully my advice will help ease this change for you. It's really not as bad as people make it sound. All of your teachers have probably made high school out to be strict and difficult, when in reality it isn't. All of the teachers are caring and understanding. They truly want to see their students succeed. With that being said, as long as you put the effort into your classes, you will do fine. Always try your best and put in extra time when needed, and you will be okay. You should always remember that while schoolwork is important, so is having fun while you can. Finding a good balance between these two things is essential. Being a freshman in a high school upperclassman is often intimidating, but just know that everyone cares about you and people will always be there for you when you need it. You will be shocked to see how much your friends change from now until when you graduate high school. Don't expect to walk out with the same people that you walked in with. My biggest piece of advice on this is be nice to everyone. You really never know what someone may be going through. Sometimes something as simple as just saying hello might change a person's day. People always stress the importance of the golden rule, which is to treat others how you want to be treated. For me, this is more true in high school than it ever was in elementary or middle school. You will run into people who are going to be mean no matter what, and you probably won't always be included in everything. But always being nice to everyone is what will help you get through this. Your friends will probably come and go, but the best way to get through it all is to stay positive and be the bigger person. I could go on for hours about high school and how much I love my years at Waterloo, but I will leave you with some final advice from some of my classmates and me. Make sure you don't make Mrs. Dean mad, and don't curse in her room, because chances are that you will get a wet nub. Be sure to walk on the right side of the hallway and on the steps. Try not to be known as the annoying freshman. If you are going to be late to school, make it count. Chemistry might be hard, but don't try to cheat in Mr. Vaz's class, because there's about a 99% chance you will get caught. And always remember that having your headphones and charger is key. Take it all in, because before you know it, it will be done. Make the most out of high school and remember that you only live once. Thank you. Next up is the president. presentation of our awards.
Good morning, everyone. This year's Achievement Award goes to a student who takes pride in his work and meets all of his deadlines. He has had excellent attendance during this very unusual year, whether we were in person or remote, and he participates in all of his classes. I could not be more proud of this student, and it has been a real pleasure to work with him for the past 2 years. His consistent effort, integrity, and perseverance deserve to be recognized by us today. Please join me in congratulating Brandon Moore on his achievement.
Good morning. The student I'm recognizing today for his achievement this year always comes to class prepared and ready to learn. He always puts forth his best effort in his work and will reach out for help if he doesn't understand. I've really enjoyed having this student over the last several years. This student is Mel Baker. Our next award is opera.
Good morning. My name is Chris Fleming, and I teach the 8th grade math and algebra 1. It's been a great privilege to see this class, not once but twice, as I had them all in 6th grade 2 years ago, and see their growth, both physically, now being mostly taller than I am, as a below average height individual, and their academic growth as well is outstanding. They have a ton of potential coming forward. The algebra class is one that comes with increased expectations, right? They have made the choice and shown the academic achievement that they have earned the right to be there. We let that expectation be known out early and often, and none of them have disappointed. They've all done an outstanding job. I'd love to be able to give 17 algebra awards. But today we present one to a student who has shown great achievement and has the highest academic average for algebra across the year. We'd like to present this year's algebra award to Carletta Henry. Our next award will be Mr. Cummings and Amy Award.
Good morning. I had the pleasure of teaching a wonderful group of 8th grade band students this year. Each of them has been a joy to teach, and I look forward to having them in the high school band next year. With that said, there are 2 8th grade band students who have stood out among their peers by making great amount of progress and by working hard throughout the entire school year to get better at achievement and grow as young people. The first student I would like to recognize is someone who was always very quiet in class, but is attentive and doing her best. She's always polite and always willing to take criticism in order to get better and learn. Finally, this student is someone who has made a great deal of progress on her instrument this year. Congratulations to Lexi Miller on being selected as The second student I would like to recognize is a student who is not so quiet in class. He's loud and is often not afraid to share his opinion. In 7th grade band, this young man and I had several disagreements. In most cases, he thought I was asking too much of him. Throughout the school year, I've seen the student make a shift towards accepting me as he more. He has also shown an increased interest and desire to learn about music and play his instrument. Congratulations to Mitchell Shutter. Thank you. Up next, Ms. Warning will present the history awards.
Good morning. I've also had the privilege of having these students for 2 years in a row, which is a curse and a blessing because they're all way too comfortable with me. For the history award, I selected 2 students. These 2 young men have shown consistently high grades throughout the year and a thorough understanding of history. They're always answering questions in class and do well on all their tests and quizzes. These 2 young men are Reese Edwards and Vincent Moore. Next up is Ms. Warner with language arts.
Good morning. Since it's an award ceremony, I kind of wish we all had gotten t-shirts that said "We all survived," parents, students, staff, we survived this crazy year. I have students that if I didn't go down to lunch, I didn't recognize them without their mask on. Then I have students that I have remote that I would see every day without their mask, and they showed up today, and I'm like, who are you? I can't recognize them. So I'm kind of feeling like the seniors this year. I think instead of throwing our hats in the air, we should be throwing these things in the air, because we're about tired of these, I'm sure everybody agrees. The 2 students that I chose, I have one student that, and you talk about them differently, she was remote, showed up to every single Google Classroom. Thank you, Miss Moore. Very diligent, hardworking, had questions, always participated, and you can tell by her work it was very thoughtful and that she put a lot of effort into it. That student is Riley Keith. Face-to-face student that I had, I would say the same about her. A little different, she's not showing up to Google Meet, she's in class every day, she works hard, she comes prepared. She is a little more quiet, but still, if I needed an answer, she was my go-to person. I could, ask her a question when everybody else was stumped, and she was there for me. That student is Isabella Jenner. Mrs. Clayton has life skills.
I didn't realize I had a speech. I wanted to let you folks know because I can't to Waterloo each day. I feel the privilege to get to work with our children, to work with you, and to think that I'm teaching life skills and get to do this for our kids just warms my heart. So today I'd like to congratulate 2 people, although there's so many more that would be deserving. The first one would be Allie Moore. And the second is a student who's learning remotely, and that is Seth Fletcher. then again, you have more.
Just when everyone thought they were ready. Don't worry. I'll do that. But, I was gonna say, I teach two different preps of math. I was gonna say I already presented the algebra award. I also have a pre-algebra award that we'd like to present to two young people here today. Both did an outstanding job in math with their calculation, their thought process, their critical thinking skills going through. Both students may not be the most outgoing students when it comes to the classroom. They may not have their hand raised for every question because we have those students that, you know that they have the answer. They're coming flying out of their seat, right? They just can't wait to be called on. But these two students we know, and I know through having had them twice, that they have the answer whether their hand up is up or not. They've done the work, they've done everything they need to do to be solid math students. The first student I'd like to recognize is Mr. Matthew Boston. And our second student is Ms. Isabel Costa. Next, we have Mrs. Montgomery with the physical education.
Morning. Each year, we give an award for physical education to a female and a male student. These students always come to class ready to participate. They have very good sportsmanship, and they have fun while playing by the rules of the game, and they're also a pleasure to have in class. Our first award goes to Ariana Rebecca. And our second award goes to Austin Wilson. Thank you. Next up is Mr. Riley for science.
Morning. The science award goes to the two young ladies who are very diligent workers, kind of kids who just will fight every single point. This year was so weird with this. They were part of the class. I call them my dentistry group. So it was like pulling teeth for them to say anything. They were hiding behind their masks and they were really bright kids. They just were just not comfortable really talking. I think because of the weirdness of the coronavirus. So these two young ladies did an excellent job. The first science award goes to Emily Lakey. Second award goes to Allison Strickland. Next is Ms. Horning with citizenship.
With being a history teacher, citizenship is talked about quite a bit in our subject area.
With having these students for 2 years in a row now, I got to witness their growth as citizens. And it has been a pleasure to see them grow and mature as the year has gone on. So the Citizenship Award, we like to look at people who are strong leaders, they have a positive attitude, they're always willing to help others, and they are respectful. We picked 2 young ladies this year, and the first one is Olivia. And the second young lady is Gabby Gonzalez. And next up is Mr. Brandon with the Sportsmanship Award.
The last time I promise. I have something I'd like to read here. As a sports coach in the building, you always look for those student athletes who, are willing to be leaders and they're willing to take charge and, just lead by example. We have the Archie Griffin Sportsmanship Award. Archie Griffin was a 2-time Heisman Trophy winner for The Ohio State University. During his high school and collegiate career, Mr. Griffin demonstrated outstanding sportsmanship, integrity, and ethics. This award is given to one middle school male and female athlete from each school in the Ohio High School Athletic Association. It's the highest honor an athlete can achieve from our school. Our purpose here is to recognize one outstanding male and female athlete to exemplify the ideals of sportsmanship. Some of these ideals and qualities which Mr. Griffin himself displays are integrity, leadership, a positive attitude, academic discipline, humility, and volunteerism. Today, we'd like to recognize 2 of our student athletes. The first is Ms. Ariana Rebecca. Our second student athlete is Mr. Landon McLean. And now I'd like to introduce the council, Mrs. Iceland.
So I have a couple of awards that I'm going to be giving out this afternoon. The first one is a Community Service Award. Community service is defined as voluntary work by a person with the intent to better their community and help others without expecting to be paid for their services. Waterloo Middle School is proud to announce that we have had one student go above and beyond and volunteer 58 hours of his time to community service throughout his middle school career. And we would like to recognize Seth Fetchu for his outstanding service to the betterment of our community. And before I begin, I have 2 letters to read. One comes from the Secretary of Education and one comes from the White House. The first one from the Secretary of Education says, "Congratulations on your achievement as a 2021 Presidential Education Awards Program recipient. Since 1983, this program has congratulated millions of elementary, middle, and high school graduates for their educational achievement. It is our honor to recognize and highlight your hard work and determination. The President and I are pleased to join your family, friends, and community in celebrating you on receiving the President's Education Award. You bring such a bright light to this world and serve as a great example to your peers and students across the country. You should be proud of your accomplishment in receiving such an outstanding award. Continue to show such great consistency in your academic studies by reaching even higher marks throughout your educational career. All the best for a bright future filled with greatness. Miguel A. Cardona. And the second one comes from our President of the White House. Congratulations on receiving the 2021 President's Education Award. America is a country where we are one and united through tough times. You are the future leaders of this great nation, and through your determination and resilience to push forward, you have reached this ultimate accomplishment of being recognized for this prestigious award. Dr. Biden and I are pleased to congratulate you on receiving the 2021 President's Education Award. We are honored to join your family, friends, school, and community in celebrating your wonderful achievement. Jill and I send our best wishes and blessings. Keep challenging yourself, be kind, and while we continue to fight COVID-19 pandemic, be sure to wear a mask. The President's Award for Educational Excellence was established to encourage students to achieve high academic standards. To qualify, students must earn at least a 3.5 grade point average from 6th grade through the first semester of 8th grade year. This year, 17 out of a total of 64 earned this honor. Please hold your applause until all students have received their honor. Students, please come forward as your name is read. Students in this graduating class of 2025 earning the President's Award for Educational Excellence are Reese Edwards, Talon Platt, Gabriela Gonzalez, Riley Eaton, Carletta Henry, Isabella Junior, Isabella Cosma, Emily Ledke, Allie Macon, Landon McLean, Lexi Miller, Vincent Morey, Olivia Newkirk, Jada Romano, Trevor Simons, Allison Strickland, and Brandon Moore. And let's give them a round of applause for that. then finally, we have our 8th grade completion certificate. First, we have Haley Dooley. Topanga Archons. Logan Baird. Noah Baker. Brandon Beans. Ashton Curtis. Alexis Eddie. Bruce Edwards. Adam Lakeland. Courtney Eisenbaum. Next up, we have Seth Fetchu. Talon Platt. Douglas Fox. Ryan Garrett. Gabriela Gonzalez. Jake Hawley. Ryan Keaton. Carletta Henry. Austin Hurst. Isabella Denner. Brendan Moore. Gavin Healy. Jason Kaiser. Isabella Cosman. Emily Lakey. And Albert Laurel. Next, we have Isabella Lopez. Allie Megan. Owen Marks. Megan McLean. Alexis Miller. Mori. Delia Murphy. Olivia Newberg. Gavin Overall. And Devlin Porter. Matthew Wilson Jr. Ariana Rebecca. Mitchell Shepard. Trevor Simon. Anthony Smith Jr. Clayton Smith. Allison Strickland. Curtis Summers. Lucas Thomas. And Brennan Diamond. And Dylan Walker. Samantha Ward. Preston White. Rose Wilhelm. Jeremiah Willis. Austin Wilson. And Andrew White. All right, next up, I will introduce Mrs. Willis for closing remarks.
Students, congratulations. You are now almost high school students. You have one more day left of school. Crowd, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you spending your morning with us. Please remain standing as our 8th graders walk out of the gym.
job, guys.